Hello and welcome to all members of the Ray White Group attending this Unlocking Vault Express webinar. My name's Bella Porge, and for the next 15 minutes, I'll be showing you how to create an action list and create cloud letter templates. Firstly, cloud letter templates are best suited to send via email. This is because the cloud letter will actually sit within the body of the email rather than being an attachment. You definitely still have access to use Word documents if you prefer. To get started, head over to Letters and Action Lists, and then Cloud Letter Templates. You'll see a number of cloud letters we have already populated in each of your accounts, but if you'd like to create one for yourself, simply hit Create New Document in the bottom right corner. Start off by giving the document a name. And then you can choose the visibility and editability options as well. And lastly, which folder you would like to put it in for ease of access later on. Then hit Next. Now what you'll need to do is start formulating the body of your letter. Whether or not you need letterhead format at the top of the page, you can formulate this by simply using your formats and your font sizes, just like a normal letter. You may also wish to insert our office logo. We also have the option to use merge fields. You'll see there's a number of merge fields here that you can use to pre-populate information based on the contact or property you're using the letter for. This helps so that you don't need to manually type all details in as you're creating the letter. Firstly, it's always good to start with our agency details at the top, particularly if we're trying to create somewhat of a letterhead template. Starting off with account and office, you can insert office name, head back to our merge fields, and start to add more merge fields to finalize our heading of our document. From the merge field drop-down list, now choose the contact record that you're trying to pull through for the greeting of this letter. In this instance, let's pretend we're creating a letter for our property owner. Selecting contact vendor owner and then first name. Just like you would format a normal letter, use punctuation and spacing. As you continue through the document, you'll be able to use a number of different merge fields to pull information through. Lastly, using our merge fields, we can sign off from marketing user 1. This will be the marketing user on the contact record. Lastly, hit save. Now you can close this window. We can also use cloud letter templates within our action lists. Now moving on to action lists. Heading again to letters and action lists and maintain. Action lists are an office policy or procedure and help to promote great customer service. Action lists are attached to contacts and will diarise tasks to be performed per user, like an electronic checklist. Examples of types of action lists that can be created and used within the office are follow-up appraisals, new managements, or a new listing plan. Tasks that are attached to an action list are sent through to the Vault to-do list, and each day, agents and staff will receive an email detailing which tasks need to be actioned. We can also insert a breakpoint. This stops Vault from automatically assigning a time and date to an item until the previous actions are created. You have the ability to also insert a breakpoint, and this stops Vault from automatically creating time and dates on items until the previous items are completed. Note that before creating your action list, you'll need to ensure you have created the relevant letters, email templates, and SMS templates to go along with the action list items. To get started, click Create New Action List. We'll firstly need to give this a name. Next, who is it visible to? Now we can edit and add items to our action list. Firstly, click Add Item to Action List. Choosing the timing How many days after attaching this action list to a contact would you like the first task to begin? Generally, it'll always start with 1 day. Now let's choose the type of action we want to create. Is it a reminder, sending of an email, an SMS, or a letter, or repeating the entire action list? Let's start with a task or reminder. Allocated staff member will automatically assign itself based on who's attached to the contact as the marketing rep. You can also define these tasks for other people to complete at the time of attaching this to the client, such as an administrator or somebody else in the office who can help out with these tasks. Or if it's always going to be completed by a particular person, you can choose their user profile. However, if people do change within your business frequently, best to leave this as allocated staff member or defined staff member. The details section is a little bit of information about what we are reminding somebody to do as part of this action list. Now click Add Item. The first of our items have now been added to the action list. Continue adding items to the action list based on other tasks that you would like to be completed. When selecting SMS, email, or letters, you'll be able to choose from existing templates. When you add items to the action list, you'll be able to see them appear here. You can always come back and edit action lists in the future, and any changes you make will be applied to existing templates as well. You can come back and make edits at any time. The options menu also gives us the option to change the configuration of the list, clone or delete the list. Please be aware if you're doing any of those actions, if these particular lists are attached to current contacts and they are in progress. As mentioned at the start, we do have the option to add a breakpoint. This will stop Vault from automatically assigning a time and date to an item below the breakpoint until all items above the breakpoint are completed. Kind of acts like a pause button. So anything above this point will need to be completed before further tasks can be completed. Once you've added all of your action list items, you can now proceed and attach this particular list to your contact. I'll show you this now. I'm heading over to a contact record, clicking through to action lists, attaching a new action list down the bottom right corner, and selecting the one from our list that we've just created. You can select a link to a property, which is really important if you are using letters, SMSs, or emails that have property merge fields included. Now choose a start date of when you would like this particular plan to begin, and all of the subsequent tasks will start to be reminded or sent based on this date. It's at this point, if you have selected to define user 1 or 2 within your action list template, that you can select that user for the drop down here for this specific property or contact action list. Lastly, click Attach. You'll be able to come back to the action list at any time and see the progress. You will notice that as items are pending, they remain in the pending state. And once the task or the email or SMS or letter has been created and sent, it will tick over to be completed. These tasks will be available for the assigned users within the mobile app as well. Once an action list is assigned to a contact, you can make additional changes, such as adding additional items, but making changes to the action list on a contact card does not affect the master action list. To finish with, I'd just like to show you how to access more training and support resources. Firstly, logging on to g5.raywhite.com will take you to our One System homepage. Heading over to Whiteboard will allow us to navigate through to the Getting Prepared for One System 2.0 section with a heap of training resources such as webinars and step-by-step guides. You can also head down to the Vault Hub and navigate through to other helpful resources here, or log a support request. This is specifically for fault requests. However, support and training issues should be directed to your local digital BDE. That completes our Unlocking Vault Express webinar. Thank you for joining us today. And if you have any questions, please reach out to your local BDE.